This week on JTV, we have our uBloom craft expert, Jennifer Ackerman-Haywood, in the studio. And we're crafting. What are we going to make today?
We're going to make some Christmas trees.
Awesome.
So tune in to find out how to make these.
All right, stay tuned. So today, we're welcoming Jennifer Ackerman-Haywood, our uBloom craft expert. You also have your blog and your own website too, though, called craftsanity.com.
Yeah, it's a podcast, blog, video tutorials. I'm kind of learning from you, Jay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be everywhere soon.
I know, but that's cool. And you travel to where these people do their crafts.
Yeah, as much around West Michigan I do. And I write a weekly column. And then,
right, in our Grand Rapids Press?
Yes, and I'm hoping to branch out and start traveling the country.
You have cool stuff all the time too, and I'm always fascinated when it has to do with flowers or if it has to do with decorating. And this week it's Christmas.
Yes, we're going to celebrate Christmas
Cool.
and this is kind of a green craft too.
Okay.
Because I have a fiber art background. I weave, so I have a floor loom, and yarn comes. You get these big cones of yarn.
Okay.
And they come on these cardboard cones. And what most weavers do, because you go through a lot of yarn, you can't possibly fill up your house with cones. I mean, you can. I did have a section of my
I've watched Hoarders, so I know.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at that, so I had to find a use for these. And one of the uses I came up with was you can make the lens. I mean, if you look at it, it's a Christmas tree shape.
Right.
So logically, you think, oh, you can just wrap it and make a Christmas tree. Cool. There's a few different ways you can do this. You can use fabric. We're going to use some ribbon today. You're going to do the ribbon version. This is just with yarn. This is some linen.
Your daughter made this one.
Yes, Abby made that one with her Daisy Scout troop. So
very cool.
Yeah, and this is a project that kids can do as well.
Okay.
And also, if you want to use, a lot of your viewers are obviously in the floral business or connected to the industry in some way, they make floral foam that comes in this shape as well.
There's the styrofoam cones.
So you can do that as well. So, but if you make friends with a weaver, you'll be hooked up.
And recyclable. So that's
and they come in plastic too.
Oh, okay. So those are the open ones you have there.
These are the open ones, yes. And another technique too that we're not going to do, but you can spray paint these.
Okay,
ahead
so
of time.
Design Master.
Perfect. Yes, you can spray paint them and then decorate too.
We love that.
Okay, so I'm going to work with fabric. You're going to
work with ribbon.
With some ribbon, and we're going to use our glue guns, and we're going to start at the top.
Oh,
okay, and so what I'm kind of doing is I kind of hold it with my thumb. Okay, but I'm going to put a little dot of glue there.
Okay.
And try not to burn myself.
I like that we craft together.
Yeah, and I know you like glue guns, so I figured the project should include an opportunity to use a glue gun, right?
Right.
And you also have some double stick tape too, which also would work good.
This is actually a new product called uGlue. It's made by the Oasis company, and it has 2 strips like that, and then you just take that, and it's really super sticky, so it's a sticky double-faced tape. And then you just lay it on the surface and then peel this back. And the uGlue is attached. It comes in strips, it comes in dashes, it comes in rolls. And
that just gives you a lot of stability when you're doing this. I like to leave these, the way I do these is I like to be able to change my mind.
Okay.
At the end of the season, I unwrapped a lot of, this is pretty ridiculous, but I actually unwrapped some of mine.
Oh yeah.
And then because next Christmas I didn't want it to look exactly the same as last year.
Oh.
So, yeah, but you could even unwrap that, I'm sure, with that tape.
Right.
But that gives you a lot of stability.
I'm putting a second one on here. I've also learned, too, in using this product, that I don't coat the whole thing with the tape first, because then it just sticks to my hands.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
Then you have a tree stuck to your hand.
Exactly.
A half-finished tree. Yeah, the fabric and ribbon are the fastest ways to do this.
Okay.
It takes a little bit longer to do the yarn version of it, but
I love this plaid because it's from Reliant Ribbon, and they do such a great job. They've just got so many different things. And you were telling me with this now, because I'm wrapping it around and I'm catching it, it's okay to have these kind of gap because then I get this effect, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could use a thinner ribbon that's, maybe a ½ inch as opposed to, what do you have, about 2 inches there? 1.5?
We would call it a number 9.
A number 9 ribbon. You can go with something that's a little bit thinner. Will give you, obviously the yarn gives you the tightest wrap. But it's not a big deal. I kind of like, it's kind of a modern effect, I think. So that's not a big deal. And then if you need to add more, I just tore strips of cotton.
Now, that made me think of something, though. Let me grab something. Because if you're matching fabric, why could you not put a bouquet holder inside
especially
that?
for weddings, this would be great. Because you can match the bridal party's
fabric.
And maybe even if you're in touch with the dressmaker, maybe even using some of that same
Cool.
fabric. And since it's going to be not something that people have to wear, you can just tear the fabric and wrap it.
Great way for us to tie things together, because so many times we're looking at a way to dress up the handle.
Yeah,
and we
because
want
the
to make it
handles
different.
typically are not the most attractive.
Sure.
And usually you design around that to cover it, so this would give you a way to, yes, just turn your Christmas tree upside down and you have a wedding bridal bouquet.
I think that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay, so I'm a little bit ahead now.
Okay,
And,
yeah.
and this is, I mean, obviously a red polka dot tree is a bit non-traditional, but I think it's really fun. Any kind of fabric,
Sure.
Christmas print, it doesn't even have to be Christmas print. If you want to bring some color into your home in the wintertime, just
Gotcha.
you can go with pastels if you want to. So once you get that wrapped, what I like to do is I sell confetti, especially around the holidays, just at the craft store. You can go and get some confetti. And I take straight pins, and this is some snowflake confetti.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll just poke a pin right through the center. And it does take a little bit of muscle to do this here, but you can poke these right in. And this is something that if you have a tack hammer too, I've actually used a tack hammer. If you're going to do a lot of these for centerpieces, don't do them without a tack hammer, because it seems like overkill to use a tack hammer to put a push pin through a piece of cardboard. But let me tell you, if you do a bunch of these, it will start to wear on you a little
It'll
bit.
save your thumbs.
So yeah, I mean, my grandmother always put blue bulbs on her tree.
Oh, okay.
And I have to say, I didn't quite appreciate that. I just thought, why are there blue bulbs on the Christmas tree? But now I always make sure there's at least one blue bulb on my Christmas tree. And I have one from her Christmas tree. So this one is kind of an ode to my grandmother here.
Oh, that's cool.
With the
I love
the
that.
blue snowflakes.
Now I'm using the glue just to tack down the edge when I get
Yeah,
there.
when you
You
get to
taught me
the
how to do
edge,
that.
I just overlapped mine. But what you can do is you can wrap and completely cover that bottom. And with that ribbon, that works really nice.
Okay.
So yeah, you're coming along.
I've used two products. I've got my uGlue and my hot glue.
I think it's best to have all your resources right, because you never know once you get started, and depending on what you're using,
Sure.
you might find that with the yarn you want to use, hot glue and,
Right.
but I think using a combination is a good thing. So yeah, you can just keep embellishing these. Now for kids, pushing the pins in is really too hard for children. So
gonna
I
steal your
recommend
scissors.
using these little, you can get the little glittery
Oh, yeah.
embellishments from the craft store. Really anything you can find in the decoration aisle, little doodads. Beads work really great too. You can put pins through beads. And why don't you show what you have there? I love the combination of
Well, I
corsage
thought I would, get all involved with the Oasis products that we have, because we've got, number one, the decorative wire, which I think could be cool, because you can wrap that around there if you wanted to use like the bullion wire or the metallic wire that we're familiar with. They also have this new cool flat wire.
That's really
Which
nice.
is pretty awesome too. And I love that because then you could do a coil that could even be, reminiscent of the tree itself.
Well, and I think I would spray paint the cone and then do a coil
okay.
around it. So then you wouldn't have to have it completely covered, but you still get your
Gotcha.
color through.
Let me grab my wire cutters here so I can separate this.
Yeah, because that's really sharp.
But see, then you start to make your own little Christmas tree.
And you actually could put, if you do a whole display of these, you could actually have some that are just wire
Oh, yeah.
and maybe glue on one of these little guys at the top.
Exactly.
So, yeah, when you get that stabilized, you can glue
See,
on.
goes over the top. Then, perfect. Flat wire. So, I wanted to use their new beaded wire. I'm in love with this stuff.
That's really
because
nice because you don't have to
it's
string it.
already done. So then I'm thinking, if I put a little bit of glue on this guy,
Yep, and stabilize that.
then he can just go in the hole at the top. And he'll just kind of be pinned in there. Well, I need a little bit more glue. See, I think florists are crafters at heart. I mean, our
my gosh,
industry
of
is
course.
crafting. in its own way. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. It's just that we love, all of our stuff is mechanics. And we have all those pieces and parts that we put together and make beautiful things out of them. So we're manufacturers.
Well, and it's kind of part of your training too, to use what you have to make your design different than the florist down the street. So
we always love personalization. That's what we talk about here.
Well, I think that's how you gain the respect of your customers too, if they're going to get something different from you.
With our prom corsages, one of our big things is that we always talk about the fact that you don't want two of your prom corsages to look the same.
Oh, no.
And in this same manner, too, you wouldn't want two of your little Christmas trees to look the same either.
That's true.
And I like that this looks like I worked for hours and hours and hours to be...
You know, that's one of the things I like about this project, is that it's very quick. And every single one looks different. Because if you start wrapping with something like this, you can have, and this is that fun fur that people for the longest time were walking around in the fun fur scarves. I never got into that, but I found that this is a fun use.
Star on our Christmas tree, and our beaded tree next to it. Oh yeah, so that's another way that you could go with it.
And this comes in many different colors, you know, so it kind of has more of a...
And there, again, would be where the uGlue strips would come in.
And then you can actually stabilize it, too, by having this wire right here.
Gotcha.
And then you could do this kind of effect with the Christmas, with the candy canes.
Now, I use the Diamante pins, too. They look like little diamonds. But I just stuck those through the middle of your snowflakes.
And those could be poked in.
What I thought worked really well, too, was I used this little mat that I had, and I just stuck the pin right through that into the mat. And so then it got it started for me, and I wasn't poking it through my finger
great idea.
each time.
See? Yeah.
Because I'll, you know, poke myself.
Well, that's the thing, is you need your fingers to be able to do your work.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
So yeah, you can just keep going, and it has kind of a winter effect. But yeah, so the possibilities are endless. It's basically whatever you can think of. You can actually decoupage these as well.
Okay.
And then wrap your floral wire around.
Awesome. Well, this was so great, Jennifer. I appreciate it. And you're going to put the instructions for this up on our project page.
Right, so people won't have to remember it.
All right, so you can go to the project page at ubloom.com, and we'll have instructions for the Christmas trees. There's also some great projects that you've done there as well. And also remember to check out Jennifer's website, craftsanity.com, for your great podcasts and other projects too.
Sure.
So thanks so much for coming by today. We appreciate it. It's fun. So until next week, keep having fun with flowers.